what else is interesting too? Because I feel like you might have like, I don't know, are you prophetic a little bit, Tom? Because you
Right.
said something about people protesting, and I seen stuff about people protesting in like Michigan and stuff this week.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the signs. It sounds like the way it is right now.
I mean, I'm not protesting social distancing. I'm cool with it. Every here and there, I might feel like I'm losing my marbles, but for the most part,
But you
yeah.
wouldn't even think like not even just there in Michigan. It would be in places where, like Oklahoma and places like that, where they really treat their civil liberties like really like to the core. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those type of places, they ain't with that. You telling them what to do.
Yeah, like you're definitely not taking my guns.
Yeah, those type of people. Those are the type of people. Like once you start talking about taking away their amendments, they get crazy.
Mm.
It's a mess. I'm over it. I'm over it.
Wait until they try to force this vaccine on people.
Man, listen.
It's gonna be a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because the people that don't get it is gonna be treated like outcasts.
Well, they can outcast me then, because I ain't taking it.
I don't know anybody that will take it.
Kenya says she take it.
You ain't gonna be allowed anywhere if you don't have it. You're definitely ain't gonna be allowed in you ain't gonna be able to go to the jazz fest without it.
Man, please.
I'm just confused of the whole thing of people saying, okay, I'm going to take it, but I'm not going to take it. Like, why wouldn't you take it? Like,
Be-
have you
because
been
it's too.
vaccinated as a kid? Like, I'm just confused of why you wouldn't.
Because they're going to
If
kill me, Kenya.
I mean, some
Or
people's
they going to put
religion
a
don't
chip in
allow
me.
them to do it. Some people's religion don't allow them to do it, and then other people it's more so it's too new to understand what the real side effects would be.
I think,
And it might be hereditary to where it might not affect you, but let's say if you was to bear another child, that it could affect them in the long run. You know what I mean? Give
yeah,
them
I
some
think
type
that,
of.
like, in all seriousness, like, that's my concern is that for it to be so new, we don't know what the side effects are going to be.
Hmm.
And I
I
just really
think that's the
don't.
real argument to it. I mean, but it's going to have to be forced the way this virus is acting. It's going to have to be forced.
Because, like, they were saying, even like when they test that stuff in the lab on rats and stuff, like the rats that they're testing, their DNA is not even the same as like a wild rat. So it wouldn't like simulate the same response as it would.
Oh, for real?
Right. So some of those testings could be off too.
So what?
That one.
So did you hear any update about the thing down at the vaccination down in Pitt that they was trying to get the government to force to start doing human trials on?
I ain't hear nothing about that. I just heard they was working on one. They was making advances.
I mean, there's some people that will volunteer their self for,
Hmm.
studies and experiments and stuff like that. I see a lot of people who say that they won't get the vaccine, and I understand it because it's something new, but I'm just confused because those same people, they get their children vaccinated and they have been vaccinated. So I'm just confused of why you wouldn't get this vaccine.
You looking for an answer?
Who, me?
No, Kenya.
No, I'm just saying, like I'm just it's a valid question, like you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because no, I don't want nothing new that they haven't run, studies on, and we do not know how it's going to affect us. But in the same sense, though, like you know what I mean, we get our kids vaccinated, and we at 2 months, and we don't know how it's going to affect them because you got some people out there saying that those vaccines attributed to their kid having autism,
Hmm.
and stuff like that. So you don't know, but yet and still we still go and we get our children vaccinated because
Hmm.
there are diseases that have been eradicated from those vaccines.
To
Like
be
So
honest
polio.
with you, I mean, when it comes to that argument, like aren't those the same vaccines that we were getting when we were little kids?
absolutely.
So my question is, when we were younger, were it's one or two things. Is it there were more people who were high functioning with living with autism and we didn't know it at the time,
Maybe.
or is it something completely different like our food
Like the
that
GMOs and all that.
right instead
Right.
of
Yeah.
the vaccines
I, I
might be our
I
food.
go with your second answer. I think it's the GMOs and the foods and how some people's bodies react to certain foods.
Hmm.
And I mean, yeah, I think that's what it is. Now the vaccinations, I do though feel like autism and things like that. You don't know if it does contribute to that, or even there's like one as far as when they take your tonsils out, how kids have I forget what the term is, but they just turn into like just having outlashes or out. You know what I mean? They start acting crazy.
I can.
Um,
Oh, from the sedation. They
yeah, yup. They
My
never.
grandbaby had that. Like it's
Yup.
real, and we don't know if she'll act like that if she's ever put under again. So
Yeah.
like if she's ever put to sleep again, like we really have to watch her because she had an adverse reaction to the anesthesia.
Yup.
Waking up.
I
There
did
was a
not even know that.
there's a
Like,
documentary about it. Yeah, and they said it
Yes.
was all because of like the kids that was getting strapped throat. They was all under the same anesthesia.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't know. Like we don't know, but I do know for a fact that I got my children vaccinated. You know what I'm saying? They're up to date till now. You know what I mean? And things like polio and
Yeah.
mumps and stuff like that shit scares me, and it's still around. Like it just takes for one person in your community to have it to not be vaccinated because we don't know that because there's a lot of people who don't vaccinate their kids,
hmm.
Hmm.
and I feel like as a parent who does, I would like to know that.
Hmm.
But in the
Now,
same sense, though, with this COVID-19 vaccine, like, you know what I'm saying, being that it's so new, like, you know what I'm saying, and everybody's so woke, like, you know what I'm saying. So how is that going to play out?
you
You
already
don't
know how it's gonna play
vaccine,
out.
and you're going to be dropping, like, you going to drop,
Look,
so many people's going to drop every year.
look, you already know how it's gonna play out. That last statement you made was the truest thing. Everybody is so woke.
Right.
Social media that did it was it's
Hmm.
crazy to the point where nobody is gonna get that vaccine. Like
Right. Right. And I don't listen to,
the masses.
at all. Like I do my own research. I'm my own person. I'm my own thinker, whatever. And just like Trump, like you know what I'm saying open up by May 1st. No scientist, no doctor said that shit, and I'm gonna believe them before I believe him.
And see,
Hmm.
my big thing about everything right now is that, like you said, I'm gonna take it all as a grain of salt from anybody
Mhm.
who's talking, because even the scientists is like,
They
they
don't
really don't know what's going on. They don't
Hmm.
know.
so
This is
new.
so new. Yeah, they don't
Right.
know.
I was listening to Dr. Fauci, and he was like, I mean, right now, since the cases have slowed down, he was like, you want to open up in phases. You don't want to just bam open the floodgates at once, but you want to like see how things
That's
turn
what
out,
Cuomo was saying.
especially like in states that are like further out west where they haven't had many cases. They can start easing up on some of the social distancing requirements and see how it works. And then if it's successful, then maybe they could do a little bit more like that instead of just saying, all right, everybody, back to normal. Go ahead.
And
You
at this
know.
point, I feel like I did trust Dr. Fauci, but at this point, ever since Trump made those tweets about fire Fauci, he hasn't been the same ever since.
Hmm.
His language, his body language, the shit that he says, he don't want to get fired. He don't want to get fired. They're ratting him, so he has to be a yes man because anybody else that is not that around Trump, they get fired. They
But you
get
know what though? The one thing I can say about Dr. Fauci, because Dr. Fauci is he has a reputation for being somebody who's highly regarded in the medical
right.
field and everything. So what this is my opinion. I think that because he's yes he you're right, he is acting different, but I think he's only acting different because he cares about us and the well-being of the country. You know what I mean? Because he's gonna have a job regardless. You know what I mean? Like it's not like if Trump fires him, he's not going to work ever again. So, I mean, I think,
Right.
but I
So
think he
with that
cares
being
about
said,
what,
I understand exactly what you're saying. And with that being said, he took an oath when he became a doctor, and for him to protect us, we need the utmost truth at all
Mhm.
times. Whether it's it has to do with the politics or not. Like, we need the truth. And like you said, if he's not work, like, it's not like he's going not work again or whatever. Give us the truth and fuck whatever Trump is saying, because he don't give a shit about us. He
yeah,
don't. And
and,
it shows.
yeah, I totally agree with you. I think when listening to Dr. Fauci, it sounds like when you look at him, basically, it seems like, in my opinion, he knows that Trump is an idiot, but he tries
Absolutely.
to
He got a job he gotta do.
he tries to give us answers that are not completely contradictory to what the president is saying,
Mm-hmm.
just so he keeps stuff all warm and fuzzy, but he
Mm-hmm.
still try to like give us the real at the same time. You understand what I'm saying? Like when you
Yes.
listen to him,
Trying to
I feel like
sugarcoat shit.
he's just like in between a rock and a hard place right now.
For
I
sure.
could agree with that. I could agree with that.
For sure.